Yeah, you. When's this lousy stage of yours gonna pull out?
Well, this is my stage, ma'am. I just ride shotgun.
Is this stage going out today or ain't it?
Mayor of Sacramento's gonna be mighty sore if she keeps him waiting.
If you're being funny, mister, someone ought to laugh. Ha, ha.
Utterly provincial, Mr. Collins. Delays like this in a metropolis as modern as San Francisco.
Yes, Mr. Young, you'd never know it was 1867.
What are you taking that long for, Johnny?
Well, maybe I won't be going back to San Francisco. Excuse me.
You have tickets to Sacramento for Kwang Lee and daughter.
Oh, yes, Mr. Kwong.
They ain't going on this stage.
Don't start any trouble around here, mister.
We ain't gonna allow them to go on the same stage with a sweet, innocent young girl.
Innocent. Her.
Yeah, me, Tubby.
You keep out of this if you don't want one of your chins broke.
I assure you, sir, we will respect the innocence of the charming lady. My daughter must be in Sacramento for her marriage.
Let her walk.
Please take the money.
If this stage is too good for Mr. Kwong and his lovely daughter, it is too good for us.
Well?
You'll have to make some other arrangements, Mr. Kwong.
You heard him.
Stop him! Stop him! Help him! 你们这些强盗，你们不能打我的爸爸！ Stop him! Stop him! Don't let him beat my father! Stop it!
Let him alone.
What's it to you, Rev? Let's teach this Rev a lesson, Al.
Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Did Johnny Yuma the rebel? He wandered alone. Johnny Yuma.
Oh, Mr. Yuma, please be careful. There are very few authentic Sung Dynasty vases in the world. This one happens to be 500 years old.
500?
But my daughter and I owe you far more than the cost of the most priceless vase.
Forget it, Mr. Lee.
In China, the family name being most important comes first.
I'm sorry. Mr. Kwong. Why did you bring me here?
We thought it best, since you no longer work for the Overland Stage Line.
Oh. Hired and fired. Hired and fired all in the same day.
Try this broth, Mr. Yuma. It will take the pain from your head.
I thought soup was supposed to go to the stomach.
Try it.
The cure was known by my people many generations ago.
I'm sure. Well, it took the long way around, but it sure did the job.
We will be honored if you will stay overnight.
I might break something.
Leah's broth will mend anything. We will see you at dinner.
What do you do with the fly in the ointment? You smash it.
We can't risk any violence in the city. Bert and Al can kill this rebel on the road. If I fail to take care of him here,
What do you mean, if?
I intend to make him so uncomfortable he won't even stay for dinner, much less want to go with us to Sacramento. In a battle of wits, he will be totally unarmed. Ah! The hero of the stagecoach war.
These kind gentlemen are Mr. Young and Mr. Collins.
Mr. Young, Mr. Collins. I thought you'd be halfway to Sacramento by now.
We preferred not to give that stage our patronage.
We're doing all we can to make up for the boorishness of the Americans the Kwongs have had to face. Oh, I wasn't referring to you, Mr. Yuma.
Oh, Mr. Young and Mr. Collins have hired a carriage and offered to share it with us on the trip.
I was about to offer my services.
I'm sure Mr. Kwong is indebted enough to you already.
Ignore him, Mr. Yuma. He'd accuse an angel of holding out his hand for a reward.
We've already tried to express our gratitude to Mr. Yuma, but he refused.
I have no wish to offend the young gentleman, but perhaps if he should rescue you a second time, the reward would be too great even for him to turn down.
Maybe I better remove myself from temptation. Have a good trip, Mr. Kwong. I wish you a long and happy marriage, ma'am.
Oh, please don't go yet.
It is time to eat. Please share our humble fare.
Thank you.
May I escort you to dinner?
My father has asked me to see to Mr. Yuma's comfort. With a little practice, you'll find it quite simple.
This is sure one meal I'll never forget.
The hero ne'er forgot the meal she gave, though not remains of dynasties but the grave. Louis Chang-Ching.
My father has a saying for every occasion.
And to put you in your place, young woman, it is not God that mars our lives. The fault is rather with our wives.
That couldn't have been written about your daughter, Mr. Kwong. She'll be a perfect wife.
Well, I'm sure this fellow in Sacramento, the one you're going to marry, thinks so.
Leah has yet to meet Wing Ki.
Never met, well. Seems kind of...
Barbaric. Perhaps we find some of your ways barbaric.
Oh, we believe that marriage is based on love.
We do too, but we rely on the wisdom of our elders.
I'm talking about love, you're talking about wisdom.
When a girl looks at a handsome young man and her heart beats faster, is that love?
Don't you know?
Ask my father.
Well, I'm asking you.
Father says Wing Ki will be gentle with me.
Is that love?
Love will follow.
You hope?
Oh, it will.
It's your marriage.
It is Leah's way of life, Mr. Yuma. It has worked rather well for thousands of years. But cultures do vary. Just as an example, even our torches stress ingenuity rather than violence. They obtain results by wringing the last exquisite bit of mental anguish from the victim. But perhaps this is not suitable conversation for the dinner hour.
Don't stop now, please.
Let us say I am the evildoer, And you are the one to put me to the torture. See, my hands are bound. My head is tied, so I cannot move it. Above me, you place a jar. There's a tiny hole at the bottom, large enough to permit just one drop of water to pass through at a time. Even those who know the torture laugh when the first harmless drops go plop, plop, plop. But hours later, as drop after drop fall maddeningly on precisely the same spot, it makes the evildoer repent or loosens any tongue, no matter how close the secret. As I said, cultures do vary, Mr. Yuma. The difference between the delicate fragrance of tea and the sharp sting of whiskey. Well, we have a long journey tomorrow. Better prepare for it.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. I suspect Young and Collins never heard this fine Chinese advice. I'd think that with all his perception, Mr. Kwong would see they want something from him. I can only suspect that. It's unlocked. Well, I was just thinking about you.
Not badly, I hope. I've come to apologize for my actions tonight.
Or was it different from the way you usually act?
I admit I'm a bit of a snob.
We agree.
But you'll see I do have the right instincts.
We're beginning to disagree.
I realize you lost your job through purely altruistic reasons. It worries me.
I'll manage.
I'd like to help. I have many influential friends in San Francisco. I can help you find a job here.
You seem kind of anxious for me to stay in San Francisco.
I'm a good Samaritan. It's one of my vices.
Are you familiar with these?
Of course. See no evil.
Hear no evil.
Speak no evil.
There should be a fourth monkey, Mr. Young.
Really?
Do no evil.
Good night, Mr. Yuma.
We haven't room for much more, Mr. Kwong. Thank you, Mr. Collins. My daughter's dowry is all that remains to go.
Mr. Kwong, I want to thank you for your hospitality.
Please consider me a friend to call on at any time.
When you come to Sacramento, you must honor my new home with a visit.
Hello. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kwong.
No harm was done.
Dowry. Highly civilized custom.
Goodbye and good fortune, Mr. Yuma.
Well, see you in Sacramento.
Sacramento? When? I asked you when.
Mr. Kwong, there is something you can do for me after all.
You have but to ask.
Will you let me have $75?
75? Tell me, Mr. Yuma, is that the price you put on the life of a Chinese aristocrat and his daughter, or is that the price of your friendship?
No, it's all I need.
Saram Pagwanjora. My servant will give you 100.
I said 75. Thanks, Mr. Kwong. Excuse me. may not bust any records, but he'll get you to Sacramento in pretty good time.
He'll do. I'm in no hurry.
Just want to keep a wagon inside. What happened? Leah, what happened?
They took everything.
Who?
And they beat him. They beat him.
Your father? Where is he? Where's your father?
The miners did it. The ones who attacked us in the stage office. They took everything.
Mr. Young was right. I'm doubly indebted to you.
Save your strength. What happened to Young and Collins?
The miners chased them away.
You stay here till I get back.
Where are you going?
Hunting. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Where's the gold?
Gold? I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Yuma.
I found Leah and her father.
Well, then you know what happened. We were going for help.
In this direction?
Why didn't you follow the trail of those two miners? You know, the same men who fought you in the stage office.
I knew I'd find you. I wasn't so sure about them.
Well, see for yourself. They've taken all the luggage and the dowry, and they chased us off. That's the truth.
We'll see. Get down.
Get down?
Yeah, I just want to have a little talk with you. How is it, Mr. Young? Like Kwong said it'd be?
I'm afraid we'll have to miss the ball at the governor's mansion. He'll be so upset.
Yuma, we told you the truth. Why did you go chase those two bandits?
My beautiful new suit, direct from London. I'd have been the most envied man there.
You're making a mistake, Mr. Yuma. Stop all this nonsense. It won't do you any good.
Besides, it's all so boring.
Yes, isn't it now?
Mr. Yuma. Mr. Yuma, please stop it. Ah! Stop this water, Mr. Yuma. Please make it stop.
Excuse me, were you saying something?
Please make it stop. I'll tell you everything.
You will not!
Look, just stop these infernal drops of water, please. I'll talk.
Keep your mouth shut, you fool.
Well?
Well, what? Young and I worked with those two miners. We knew Kwang Lee was getting married, that she'd have a rich dowry. Please make it stop, Mr. Yuma.
After you tell me more.
Yesterday, we were in the stagecoach office. We won Mr. Kwang's confidence. We didn't expect you to butt in.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Bert and Alway laid us. Afterward, we're to meet and divide everything 4 ways. Please make it stop, Mr. Yuma!
You forgot to tell me where the other 2 are. And the dowry.
Up ahead. There's a box canyon.
All right. You'll keep till I get back.
Mr. Yuma? What about me?
You didn't talk. All right, raise them nice and slow. Mr. Young, Mr. Collins, and Mr. Kwang send their regards. We're gonna join them.
Johnny, I still think part of that money should be yours.
No, it belongs to Wing Key.
I have so much more to give. Why won't you take it?
Why don't I get married, settle down? Why don't I do a lot of things?
I think I understand.
I wish I did.
Without one's ancestors to point the way, one must find it for himself.
Really, Mr. Kwang? If you're going to keep any sort of schedules, you'd better get going.
Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Johnny Yuma, the rebel, he wandered alone. He got fighting mad, this rebel lad. He packed no stars, he wandered far where the only law was a hook and a draw. The rebel, Johnny Yuma, Johnny Yuma was a rebel. He roamed through the West. Did Johnny Yuma, the rebel, he wandered alone. He searched the land, this restless lad. He was panther quick and leather tough. If he figured that he had been pushed enough, the rebel, Johnny Yuma,